everyone, welcome to Caveat. The show will be going in a few minutes. In the meantime, you can use the restrooms. Restrooms are back the way you came through those purple curtains and to the right. Emergency exits are also back the way you came, as well as on the other side of the tech booth in the back of the space. And please don't forget to tip your bar staff. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage the Novelizers.
Can we get a little more noise than that? Then make some noise, please. Make some noise. All right. So my name is Kevin Carter. I am one of the producers on the Novelizers. So this is very special for me, and I'm happy. I flew all the way here from Ohio today, and I fly back tomorrow. So what I'm going to do for you guys to start everything off is I'm going to give you a summary of the movie. For those who have not seen it, for those who have not seen it in a while, just to give you a summary of the movie. And I will do it, some people call it rap, some people call it hip hop. I like to call it rhythmic expression. So that's how I will give you the summary of the movie. Is everybody good with that? All right. This here is a classic. I'm talking Johnny and Baby, they making magic. On the dance floor, understand for, but not for the reason that you clap your hands for. The family went to a resort in Catskills where they hired ballroom dancers that had mad skills. And it was super lame, and Baby liked nothing, so she took a walk and saw a party jumping. She saw it was all the hired dancers. They was doing dances that would probably get them canceled. Back then, it would have been a hassle, but Baby couldn't keep her eyes off Johnny Castle. He was dancing with a girl named Penny, and Penny was living a life not like many. See, Penny got pregnant by a guy named Robbie. If I'm moving too fast, then somebody better stop me. The procedure cost money that Penny didn't have, so Baby decided to get it from her dad. Everything got scheduled, now everything's great, but the procedure and the big dance was on the same day. So they decided to have Johnny teach Baby, take Penny's place while she do something about the baby. A couple montages later, they fell in love, but it seemed like the bad news wasn't letting up. See, Penny almost lost her own life by going to a doctor with a folding table and a dirty knife. And then Johnny got fired because people thought he was stealing, right? And Baby's dad found out his daughter was getting piped. But what about the dance, mama? Now we're stuck listening to Lisa sing Hula Hana. Then Johnny came in to restore order and said, nobody puts Baby in a corner. And then everybody started dirty dancing. The family was looking and Baby didn't care. Everybody started dirty dancing while Johnny Castle lifted Baby in the air. Thank you.
Kevin Carter, please! There is not enough applause in the world for a rhyming summary of Dirty Dancing. You guys, I'm Jenny Hagel, and welcome to the Novelizers. I'm so excited to be here. I just messed up the pronunciation of my own name. This is the Novelizers. You guys, I'm so shook. The Novelizers Dirty Dancing Live. We have an incredible show for you tonight with guests like John Bass, Ophira Eisenberg, Jordan Carlos, and Dan Adu. Plus, we have a special surprise guest, so get excited. Hold on to your butts. But before we start, I know what you're asking yourselves. What are the Novelizers? Thank you for asking. Everyone knows the book is always better than the movie. But what about movies that weren't based on books? What do we do about those? Well, the good folks at the Novelizers are geniuses, and they decided to reverse engineer those movies into books. Every week on our podcast, we take the best movies that weren't based on books, and we get America's best comedy writers to turn them into soon-to-be classic literature. Then, because reading is for nerds, we get your favorite celebrities to narrate them. Tonight we're presenting selections from one of the best movies not based on a book that was ever made, and that movie is Dirty Dancing. This is legit one of my favorite movies of all time. When the producers of this show told me that tonight would be all about Dirty Dancing, I said, I can recite that movie from memory. And they said, please don't do that. I have seen this movie approximately 100 times. That is a lowball estimate. Dirty Dancing premiered in 1987 at the Cannes Film Festival, and not where I would have assumed, at some girl's slumber party. It's set in 1963 at a resort in the Catskills that is very subtly coded as Jewish. So subtly that I had no idea everyone in the movie was supposed to be Jewish until I was in my 30s. I thought they were all just brunette. But that's not what the movie is about. It's about a young girl and a dance instructor who meet at that resort and against all odds fall in love while helping someone get an abortion. And it's about everyone in 1987 learning at the same time the name of the first woman to serve in the cabinet. That joke was for the real ones. Dirty Dancing had a huge cultural impact. It was the first time many young Americans saw sensual dancing, or consensual sex, or heard the word pachanga. The movie Dirty Dancing has changed a lot of lives, you guys, and hopefully tonight's novelization of it will do the same. So let's all sit back, relax, put down our watermelons, and begin. Guys, I'm going to read chapter 1 of tonight's novelization. Chapter 1 is called Call Me Baby. It was the summer of 1963, before the Beatles and Woodstock and the moon landing hoax. Back when all our moms had crushes on Kennedy, and all our dads had crushes on each other because they were in the closet. When we thought spanking was good for kids, but smoking was better. When desegregation seemed scary and asbestos seemed great. When birth control was free, because birth control was throwing yourself down the stairs. You know, the good old days. Back then, I couldn't wait to grow up, and I couldn't wait to join the Peace Corps, because I thought it was a way to change the world, instead of a way for white kids to get malaria before coming home to get a job in finance. Back then, I thought I'd never meet a guy as great as my dad. A weird sentence that's actually in the movie and that I would unpack 20 years later in therapy. In those days, everybody called me baby, and it hadn't occurred to me to mind yet. They didn't call me that because it was my nickname. They called me that because no one ever gave me a name. In the hospital, my parents looked at me, saw a baby, and thought, ugh, we'll name her later. And then they never got around to it. And why bother? They figured I'd get married soon enough, and then my husband could name me. And in 1963, that seemed like a solid plan. But husbands were for later. Right now, my family and I were driving north on the New York thruway, all four of us. My mom, my dad, my sister Lisa, and me. We were headed to a 3-week vacation at a resort in the Catskills called Kellerman's. It was unusual for us to take such a long vacation together. It was hard for my dad to get time off from his job shooting Law and Order. And even harder for my mom to get time off from her job shooting the Gilmore Girls. And it was hard for my sister Lisa to take 3 weeks off from combing her fucking bangs. Oh, how I hated Lisa. Everyone experiences sibling rivalry, but this was something different. I hated Lisa with the fire of 1,000 suns. She was vapid and self-centered and superficial. And if I could have murdered her and gotten away with it, I would have. But murder podcasts hadn't been invented yet, so there was no one to tell me how to do it. There was no 8-part season of Serial to teach me how to perfectly cover my tracks. No burner phones I could use to hire an assassin. No 3D printer to help me make a ghost gun. So I was stuck with her, in the backseat of my parents' car. A car that was going 60 miles an hour and that, if I was brave, I could push her out of, because it was 1963, so she definitely wasn't wearing a seatbelt. But I wasn't brave. Not yet. Instead, I was excited. Excited about starting Mount Holyoke in the fall. Mount Holyoke is one of those colleges whose name you've heard, but that you don't know anything about. It sounds vaguely fancy, like William and Mary or Church of Scientology. No one knows where it is or what goes on there, but it's all girls, so I'm guessing a lot of gay stuff. But until then, I had to spend 3 weeks with Lisa. God, how I hated Lisa. The resort we were headed to was on a mountain, and if Google had been invented back then, I would have Googled how to push someone off a mountain. But it was 1963, so instead I gazed out the window and dreamed about one day opening a bank account without a man's permission. Finally, at long last, we reached Kellerman's. As we pulled into the long driveway, Lisa started crying because she hadn't brought enough shoes. You brought 10 pairs, my mom replied, wondering if she should have left Lisa on the doorstep of a firehouse when she was born. That's not enough shoes, Lisa wailed. I need the coral ones. No, my mom thought. I should have drowned her in the river instead. A man named Stan stood on the front lawn announcing that day's activities with a megaphone. This place had everything. Dance classes, pottery classes, watermelon carrying classes. And Stan announced each one like his life depended on it, because it did. Stan needed this job, badly. It was the only way he could make ends meet between seasons of Seinfeld. There's a merengue class in 10 minutes, he announced. It's in the gazebo. And we went because the coolest shit always happens in gazebos. Later that night, we got settled into our bungalow. Lisa started crying again because she hadn't brought enough brooches or some shit. I wanted to Google how to make stabbing look like an accident. But again, Google hadn't been invented, so instead I went for a walk to explore the resort. I crept up to the main dining room. Maybe I could find something to kill Lisa with in there. I peeked in the window, and that's when I saw him. He was handsome and cool. So cool, he was wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses I'm pretty sure he got from the sale rack at Ann Taylor Loft. His body was tall, and his hair was tall, and he had an Adam's apple for days. Even though I was 18 years old, the moment I laid eyes on him, I got my period for the first time. I looked at him with starving eyes, famished eyes, malnourished eyes. Peckish eyes? No, hungry eyes. And then, just as quickly as he appeared, he was gone. The next day at breakfast, the owner of Kellerman's brought his nephew Neil to our table. Neil is a college student at Cornell Medical School, he bragged to my dad. And he's a virgin, just like your daughter. Neil leered at me creepily like he was looking right through me. Through my sweater, through my dress, all the way through to my pachanga. It was clear he thought we would be deflowering each other that summer, but Neil was too late. I had already decided to give my pachanga to someone else. That is the end of my chapter. But it is not the end of this novel. What happens next? Thank you for asking. That night, Baby gets pressured into attending the resort's dance with Neil. While they're on the dance floor, Baby sees Johnny, and she is clearly smitten. Neil brags about himself constantly, so finally, to get away from him, Baby goes for a walk and ends up in a part of the grounds that's for staff only. She bumps into Billy, who's headed to a secret staff party. He begrudgingly brings her along. What happens at the staff party? Guys, here to tell us is the host of the #1 food podcast in the country, Green Eggs and Dan. He's one of the stars of Netflix's Cobra Kai. Please welcome Dan Adut. Dan Adut, guys, whenever I point to you, you're going to yell, novelize us. Does that sound good? All right, ready? Dan Adut, novelize us. All right.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Are you ready for chapter 2? It says 3. 3. Straddling Two Worlds, novelized by Abby Crutchfeld. As Baby climbed the 87th stair to the party cabin, she worried about her heart rate. Good thing my father is a cardiologist, she thought. I really should have considered how high I was climbing before I offered to haul a jumbo-sized watermelon. But taking on more than she should was Baby's favorite thing to do. Why else would she have mid-length curly bob with bangs in the age of the pixie cut? Her escort Billy was carrying not one, but 2 of the massive green boulders. Eager to impress her, he hoped she noticed how he used what was left of his strength to force the party doors open without putting the fruit down. Baby took one look at the people inside and froze. The staff members were dancing sensually to the music, their bodies pressed and undulating like her mother's salmon in aspic. Do you guys know what aspic is? Okay. It's not racist. Time stood still. Granted, time was a very loose concept at Kellerman's, as the year was 1963, but the staff and guests had hairstyles and clothing from 1987. They were of the moment and from the future all at once. The air in the room was warm and thick like Heinz ketchup, an apt metaphor since it was a product that was popular throughout the 1960s and the 1980s. The harmonizing vocals of the Contours swelled to a crescendo, filling the large room with impressive sound considering the music must have come from a simple record player. You could swear there was a large Sony stereo rack system somewhere nearby as lead singer Billy Gordon belted out, "Do you love me?" Billy, the Kellerman's employee, thought, "What is love? Oh, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more." But Baby had forgotten all about him. She had a new goal now, and that was to figure out what she was witnessing. Despite her lofty academic aspirations and emotional maturity, she was incredibly naive. She wondered to herself, are these people doing it? Is this going all the way? She always thought you had to be naked to have sex, and at home, in a bedroom, and at least 40 years old. But now, she wasn't so sure. Her knees buckled under the weight of the oversized produce she foolishly agreed to carry. It was making her biceps hurt, but it was too slippery to adjust without drooping. The last thing she wanted was to draw attention to herself by smashing the watermelon, thereby shocking the spectators and covering them in bits of fruit. She could not know that the gesture would have been a crowd pleaser because Gallagher would not add this to his tour for another decade. But enough time hopping. This isn't True Detective. Mortifyingly, nothing on the True Detective. I thought that was so funny. Let's try again. But enough time hopping. This isn't True Detective. Too much. Mortifyingly, some of the dancers made eye contact with her and gave disdained looks as if to say, take a hike, Poindexter. I mean, go blow it out your ears, square. Billy led Baby to a table where they could finally deposit the trio of Hindenburg melons. Never again, they both thought to themselves. At that moment, the impossibly statuesque dance instructors, Johnny Bad Boy Castle and Penny Even Worse Girl Johnson, made their grand entrance. They were welcomed by the hoots and hollers of the gang. Now they look like movie stars, Baby thought. Johnny was tall, svelte, and firmly in his 30s. Penny had the body of a ballerina and the hair of a glam metal bandmate. Baby recognized the gorgeous duo from the ballroom, but here at the party, it was like seeing them for the first time. They were in their element and finally able to be their true selves, unhinged maniacs. From the way they grabbed their friends to the way they slithered onto the dance floor, they were pure sex, in Baby's opinion. She was still not 100% what sex was yet. Surely this vertical dry humping counted. And just about everyone's face made up a tableau of ecstasy. But she wondered if there was a little more to it. Oh, how she wished her mother Marjorie had had a more in-depth conversation with her about it. Baby recalled her mother's words to her the day she got her first period. Someday you'll have kids. Don't take them to Kellerman's. It's a cesspool. Everyone there has an STD. We only go because your father is friends with the owner and gets us free vegetable terrine with every meal. And when Baby pressed her for more information, her mother took a drag from her cigarette and exhaled. When your husband initiates, just fake a headache so you can finish your magazine article. Johnny and Penny did a few more unforgettable moves, making the other staff members look like movie extras. And then the music faded out as the crowd cheered. Love Men by Otis Redding began on the gramophone or boombox. After a few more sensual wiggles, Johnny broke away and spied his cousin with the telltale sweat rings and lovesick puppy eyes. He instantly knew the $5 he slipped the cooking staff to load him up with their heaviest fare paid off. Pranking Billy was one of the many ways he maintained dominance at the resort. Other methods included announcing who was allowed to put who in a corner, and framing elderly couples for theft if they failed to tip him properly. Is that correct grammar? The whom? Did anyone catch that? Other methods included announcing who was allowed to put whom into corners, right? It should be whom. You suck, Allie. Abby. I'm kidding, you're great, Abby. Billy appeared to be accompanied by a high schooler, which was not a good look. And she had on pastels, which was unconscionable at a beatnik shindig. So Johnny interrogated him. He demanded to know why there was a guest at their staff party. Billy explained that he brought her as his date. In that instant, Johnny plotted to take the girl away from Billy just to teach him a lesson. Plus, he was bored! Clueless dipstick Neil was probably going to make him end the season with the mambo again, or worse, the pachanga. In a moment, only Quentin Tarantino could truly appreciate, all eyes were on Johnny and Penny's feet. They parted the crowd and began to do the stroll. like on Soul Train, but without the soul. It still looked cool though, because they were in great shape and dressed perfectly, which is more than I could say for Baby. She ditched her cardigan made of Muppet fur. But her dress was plain, shapeless, and clearly recycled from Mary Steenburgen's wardrobe. While leading with the pelvis, Johnny locked eyes with Baby. She was gawking. And through his peripheral vision, he could see Billy clench his fists. He smiled while biting his lower lip. A move way ahead of its time, since TikTok was not yet invented. And he beckoned her to the dance floor with his left pointer finger. She accepted, leaving Billy behind. His anger gave way to indifference, and he shrugged. He knew Johnny always took his girl, no matter her age, status, or horrible outfit. If there was a dance craze called the uncooked spaghetti, Baby's rigid demeanor would have fit right in. But this room was for al dente noodles only. And Johnny could tell he had his work cut out for him. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Dana Duke, please. Thank you very much. You guys, I'm on the edge of my seat. What happens next? Thank you for asking. Baby sees Penny on the resort grounds and compliments her dancing. But Penny brushes it off because over Baby's shoulder, Penny sees Robbie flirting with Lisa, and it makes Penny visibly upset. Later that night, Johnny's dancing with a guest, and then Neil storms up to him and is like, "Hey, where's Penny? All the guests are asking for her." And then Johnny's like, "She's taking a break. What's the big deal? She needs a break." But clearly he's covering for her. Neil offers to take Baby for a walk, and while he's like awkwardly trying to touch her hair to flirt with her, they see Lisa and Robbie storming out of the woods arguing. I wonder what they're arguing about. Well, guys, here to tell us what happens next is a very special guest, Jordan Carlos. You've seen Jordan on incredible shows like Black Mirror, Party Down, Motel Transylvania, and Girls. His debut book, Chore Play, will be on shelves on Valentine's Day of 2026. Jordan Carlos, you guys ready? Jordan Carlos, novelize us!
Guys, let's hear it for Ginny, please, okay? Are you ready to be novelized? Are you hanging on the edge of your fucking seats? We made it to Friday, guys. Lower your shoulders just a little bit. We did it. Everybody deserves a tax refund for living in America right now. Okay. A double tax refund. Okay, all right. You guys, let's get into it. So, to date, Neil Kellerman has produced exactly 4 good ideas in his life. 3 of them are about solar. I'm like, should I wear my glasses? 3 of them are about solar flares. The 4th is about cold storage. Specifically, how an enterprising young man can seduce all the women he wants with the simple yet bewitching allure of commercial refrigeration. That's why, on this dark, moonlit night, he has invited Baby, his paramour-to-be. That's a paramour's a mistress, right? Is that anybody smart? Okay, to be out of the woods into his kitchen after years of gentlemanly courting, because he is quite literally at least 37 years old. He knows what women want. They don't want cuddles and romance. They want soft whispers and gentle kisses by the lake. In Neil's experience, they don't want that. Okay, sorry. In Neil's experience, they just want one simple thing: late night snackies. Am I right? No? Okay. So when he tells Baby she can have anything she desires from his bright, sexy refrigerator. And by the way, this is like a 1950s refrigerator. Those things were, oh my God, those were so powerful. He knows it's only a matter of time before she succumbs to his charms. He hears her stomach rumble with hunger, obviously, not sex, certainly not disgust, as he slowly, gently gives her the menu options. A brownie, some milk, whole, I guess, leftover rice pudding, beef, a cabbage roll, fruit salad, and oh yes, sweet gherkins. Gherkins, right, gherkins. Yeah, gherkins. Okay, cool. That's how you spell that. Okay, so that's how he usually seals the deal. Those two little words, sweet gherkins. Sweet gherkins. Good enough to garnish a sandwich, good enough to make a young girl swoon. He knows. I guess they're kosher. I have no. Okay, so he's just about to pretend to yawn, stretch, and put his arm around baby. His other signature move. Did that once in Interview with a Vampire. It worked. And patent pending when she surprises him by saying she has to go and check on her sister. Okay, whatever. This has never happened before, at least not since he added beef and a cabbage roll to the menu. This guy is aghast. He's confused. How? Why? Why, dear Lord, did the gherkins fail him? The sweet, sweet gherkins. This is a massive blow to his ego. It cuts so deeply, shattering his manhood in such totality that he may never seduce anyone with the contents of a fridge again. So he's so broken, he can hardly even register surprise when the film's narrative perspective turns its embarrassed eyes away from him and instead focuses on baby and Penny, who has been crying in the corner this whole time. Whole time. Mildly turned on by Neil's talk of refrigerated foods, but not turned on enough to shut down the waterworks. Neil heads out the door, dumbfounded. A story arc about girls. Girls! Finally, Bechdel. Okay, of all people. All right, we're very sorry, Neil. But it's 1963, and Jackie Kennedy is the president's missus, and women have been voting for 40 years now, so get it. So we're gonna follow Baby, despite her hugely misogynistic name, as she figures out what's wrong with Penny. What is wrong with Penny? But first, she needs to find a man. Okay, well, fuck the Bechdel test. All right, so because Baby, the epitome of mature, independent young woman, sees Penny sobbing uncontrollably in a dark kitchen corner, and instead of going up to her and asking her what's wrong with her, decides to run off in search of Billy and Johnny. She finds them. Johnny is dancing again. I mean, come on, it's Swayze. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna. Have you? I mean, come on. Even in Point Break, it was like, fuck it. All right. I miss him. All right. So okay, she finds him. Okay, so she tells them she needs help. They rush out of the crowd into the darkness, led by Johnny's pelvis, and which always unfailingly points north. And as they're trudging back to the kitchen together, Baby asks the guys, "What's wrong with Penny?" Jesus, Baby! You ask too many fucking questions. Read the room. Okay, so Jesus, Baby, you could have asked her yourself, but you needed to go find two fellas to mansplain that middle-aged woman's problem to you? We're all embarrassed for you at this point, Baby, okay? We are. And what world champion men she's recruited to help her too, all right? Billy tells Baby that Penny is pregnant, and when she asks what he is gonna do about it, Johnny gets soups defensive. All the women he's impregnated, of all the women he's impregnated, Penny is not one of them, okay? So, yeah. And he is not shy at all about huffing that news to Baby, who he absolutely will not try to bed within the next 20 minutes of this film. In a post-montage rush of lust and poor judgment. He had a sweet car, though. Okay, all right. In the meantime, in between time, Johnny, Billy, and Baby head back to the kitchen to find Penny, who's still lying on the floor crying. Oh, my God. Okay. Johnny swoops her up in his arms, like you do. And then Billy and Baby bring a blanket for Penny and liquor for the baby. The financially insolvent kids sit on one side of the room while Baby, not the baby that's drinking now in Penny's uterus, but the main character, Baby, stands awkwardly with dollar bills and trust funds falling out of her pockets. "Oh God, this is hopeless," Penny says, most likely talking about the pregnancy. "Don't say that. There's got to be a way to work it out," says Baby. Baby? If that is your ridiculous name, Penny sneers. She's kind of in a mood. Hormones, probably. She just keeps sneering. And she says, you know what, baby? You don't know shit about my problems. And that's true. She does say that. And this is very awkward because Billy, as we heard, already told Baby all about Penny. Like, all about her. Like, fully, like all her files, like all the tea. All right, so shoe size, social security number, how she was born with a prehensile tail, and one eye that was backwards. Everything. And of course, he told her about the pregnancy. He said she was quick with child in a family way. So then Penny finds out, and Penny just loses it, y'all. She just, she's not having it. Telling Billy he's really fucked things up now. Okay, what a night. But you know, I'm just saying, what a fucking night. And by the way, there's like no AC in this movie at all. It's just hot, right? It's so sticky. It's like everybody's like a New Orleans homicide detective or something. Just like, anyway, okay, so, but you know what? In Billy's defense, I think that the person we're all really angry at is Robbie. Robbie, hello, as the kids say, shot up the club, knocked up Penny, and he has margin notes written in the copy of Fountainhead. Who does that? That was a library book, okay? What a dick thing to do. The library is expecting that. All right, so I'm not an Ayn Rand fan. All right, so he's obviously the villain, and we all love to hate him. And I just think that these kids are snarling and snapping at each other in this scene. They need to remember that, okay, that he is the villain, all right? And he's probably loving this. And maybe organize themselves and kill that guy. How about that? That took a turn. Okay. Or not, maybe. It's just an idea. All right. Thankfully, Billy breaks up this awkward conversation by bringing up the abortion. We can say that word out loud. All right, there's like the abortion. All right, all right. So there's an air quotes doctor who can end the pregnancy and give Penny blood poisoning for just $250. But that's like $100 million in today's money. And there are 3 poor dancers from the wrong side of the tracks, you know, and one nice young rich girl. Where are they going to find that cash? And by Thursday, of all days, you got to have it. You got to have it by Thursday. So Baby has an idea that she will solve everything because Baby is a problem solver. She's training to be in the Peace Corps, where she's going to learn how to pay for abortions, you know, all over the world. The way JFK would have wanted her to. I was about to say, I have a dream, but that's totally not what he said. Not what he said. Misattribution. All right. Oh my God. The edible's kicking in. All right. So I bet. Okay. Baby says, I bet Robbie could pay for it. Like, I'll just tell him, right? He knows, Penny says, sighing, she's glad, frankly, that Baby didn't try talking to her back in the kitchen. She just wants this irritating girl to leave, all right? And I don't feel that way about Jennifer Grey. I think she's hot. She launches a frankly brutal verbal barb at Baby. One the girl likely has never ever heard in her whole fucking life. Okay. This is what she says. She says, go back to your playpen, ellipsis, baby. Woo! Ouch. Oh, my butthole's so tight. All right, okay, that's too much. All right, so, ouch, sick burn, Penny. Sick, highly original burn. I bet Baby's gonna cry like a, never mind. Anyway, that's that chapter, okay? We did it.
Oh, we did it. You guys give it up for Jordan Carlos. What happens next? Friends, you're never going to believe this. Okay, so we already covered. Baby learns that Penny is pregnant. Robbie is the father. Penny needs an abortion. It costs $250, right? No one in 1963 has ever seen that much money. So, here's where we're at. Baby goes to her dad and asks for it and thinks she has saved the day. There's just one problem. The only available abortion appointment is that Thursday. On the same day, Penny and Johnny are scheduled to perform a complicated dance at another hotel called say it with me, the Sheldrake. If they miss this gig, they will lose their jobs. So Baby offers to fill in for Penny, but to do that, she has to learn the dance. So Johnny teaches it to her in a long and sexy montage. Finally, they perform at the Sheldrake, and it goes great. But when they get back to Kellerman's, they learn that the abortion doctor was actually sketchy as hell, and Penny has been seriously injured. Baby runs to get her dad and brings him back to Penny's bedside, where he straight up saves Penny's life. As Baby and her dad are leaving, her dad says, "Is this what my money paid for?" And he's really mad at Baby for lying, but he's mostly just disgusted with her for being involved in all of this. He tells her that she's not allowed to hang out with any of these dance people ever again. So what is going to happen next? Well, here to tell us is an incredible stand-up comedian and a regular panelist on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Give it up for Ophira Eisenberg. Ophira Eisenberg, novelize us.
Hi, everybody. Baby, in her long denim cutoffs and white shirt that tied in the front, iconic, ran towards Penny's cabin. She knocked frantically on the door, which was open within seconds. "Have you seen Johnny?" Baby asked, only to have Penny push the door open further. And there he was, his body framed beneath the mantle of Penny's graceful arm, his face creased with grief. Of course he had gone right to Penny. Baby would never understand Johnny the way Penny could, although, in fairness, Penny still couldn't grasp the concept of hair frizzing in the presence of humidity. Yeah, now we get into some Jew shit. Are you ready? The hair it gets bigger? Baby had said, gesturing to her own hair. "Like longer?" Penny had asked. "No," Baby had said, frustrated. "Like puffier, like think of a mushroom cloud from a bomb." "Does it make a noise?" Penny had asked, genuinely intrigued. She ran her fingers through her own silky hair, her hair that effortlessly dried minutes after she left the shower. Oh, how did I get this part? My Jew hair is more like a Orthodox shadel. Anyhow. "No, Baby," explained, sighing. "It just gets kind of messy, like tangled and hard to manage. It's really hard to understand if you didn't grow up with it." "That sounds awful," Penny said, genuinely sympathetic to her. "I never realized it, but I guess you had a rough childhood too." "Yeah," said Baby, "I guess I did." Baby gazed enviously at Penny, beautiful Penny, with legs like giraffe necks and a bottomless collection of belted French-cut leotards. Brave Penny, who could endure a horrific betrayal, a 1960s abortion, while Baby could barely pull off a summer fling that wasn't a series of emotional breakdowns. Trustworthy Penny, who Johnny loved in a 100% non-sexual way, despite the fact that their dancing created a temperature at which galvanized metal could be welded. It's fucking hot. Yeah. Johnny stepped out onto the porch, and Baby, filled with a powerful mixture of guilt and lust, placed her arms around his shoulders. She tried to sensuously rub his body, but failed, holding him with what felt like the quiet passion of a home care attendant. Watering a fern. Why was she so bad at this? Baby wondered. Penny could bring in thousands of OnlyFans subscribers blowing her nose on a CVS receipt, while Baby could be filled with passion, alone with the man she loved, and still somehow she just looked like an 11-year-old petting a horse. Baby kissed Johnny's back slowly, wishing she could be absorbed into him like water into a sponge, wishing they could run away together. Maybe he could punch through the window on the other side of his car, unlock the door, and then the two of them could drive off into the sunset or the sunrise, or just drive off at midday. Why was she so hung up on the position of the sun? Not that he would do any of that, she thought. Obviously, there was no need to punch through the other window when the first window was still broken, but still, there was nothing like the raw animal magnetism of a man who would destroy his car rather than suffer the indignity of calling a locksmith. And in doing all of it, in the pouring rain, in a leather jacket, a material easily damaged by moisture. Was that her type? Was that her type? Men who looked hot while impulsively ruining things that they didn't have the money to replace. Oh, yeah. Many an ex of mine. It was then they saw Robbie. They saw Robbie wandering through the cabins after an exhausting morning of smirking and dropping the term Yale Law School into conversations. His gaze flew from Johnny to Baby and then back again. Looks like I picked the wrong sister, Robbie said, his cruel grin, his thick hair like an Angora rabbit of conceit. That's okay, baby, he said. I went slumming too. Yes, yes. And the fuse was lit. Johnny flew from the porch like a possum from a catapult. That is a possum. That is a possum. His hand slamming Robbie into the railing before plummeting him in the smooth, pebbly dirt of the Catskills. He was fighting Robbie, Johnny thought, but he was also fighting all the Robbies that had come before him. He was fighting Robbie's pompous father and his shitty grandfather and whatever obviously crappy ancestor had come here decades ago on a boat. He was fighting some European asshole from the 1740s who had knocked up a girl in the next village and left the town the next morning. An endless line of Robbies from Paleolithic times until the present. Each one a smirking, slightly more erect postured piece of shit. Johnny fought them with the passion of someone battling a wild dog, while Robbie, questioning his decision to wear a V-neck cable knit sweater over a Oxford shirt in late August, struggled to stay on his feet. Desperate, Robbie attempted his signature takedown, saying, "Wait till I tell my father about this," which had little, if any, effect. Johnny tossed him to the ground, the way one might fling a gum wrapper. Johnny grabbed the rich, full tufts of Robbie's hair, punching the soft flesh of his stomach. And it was that moment that Robbie felt himself switch from elitist belief to pure, unbridled rage. That he should be treated this way from someone without a college, not even an associate's degree, but a man in a tank top wearing a bracelet. Johnny threw Robbie back to the ground. His fist paused in the air above Robbie's face, his muscles twitching. Robbie cowered. He prayed Johnny wouldn't punch him in the teeth, not because his parents wouldn't pay for the cosmetic dental work to fix it, of course they would, but because it would be so humiliated in the meantime before they could get the right appointment. "Get out of here. You're not worth it," Johnny spat. He said it as if Robbie was a bug, a pile of deer shit, treating Robbie the way Robbie's father treated middle-aged female receptionists. Alive, sure, but not worth the time to fully acknowledge. "You're not worth it," Johnny muttered again. Robbie lay on the ground, furious and humiliated, terrified that Johnny would say, "You're not worth it," a third time, and knowing that things have a Beetlejuice-style magic when you say them in threes. He scrambled to escape. His Ralph Lauren sweater was ruined, Robbie thought, brushing the blood from his teeth and the black dirt from his cuffs. Luckily, he had another cream-colored Ralph Lauren sweater, but also a Brooks Brother one that was really similar, except for the V-neck stripe was navy instead of maroon, and another Brooks Brother one that was a crew neck. But the thing that was really damaged was his pride. Johnny hung his head, furious at Robbie, but ashamed of his own outburst. 2 hours each day of social, emotional learning. And still, his first reaction to an insult was to fly off the porch like a testosterone-fueled jumping spider. How has he not gotten better at this? Thank you.
Ophira Eisenberg, everybody! But what happened next? Baby confronts her father for his anger and tells him that she's sorry she disappointed him. But if he's gonna love her, he has to love all of her. And frankly, that's a great point. Even though Baby gave Johnny an airtight alibi, he gets fired anyway for boning a guest. Before Johnny leaves Kellerman's, he tries to make things right with Baby's father. But before Johnny can say anything, Baby's father accuses Johnny of knocking Penny up and then abandoning her. "Yeah, that is what you would see," Johnny says. For the record, that is not written here. I just know it from memory. Thank you. Johnny and Baby say goodbye, and he drives away in his very cool car. Lisa sees how sad Baby is, and they make amends. Finally, all the guests at the resort gather for the huge Kellerman's end of summer talent show. Before it begins, Baby's daddy spots Robbie and hands him some money for college. For Yale, he says. Robbie says, "Hey, thanks for helping me with that Penny situation. I mean, she said the baby was mine, but you know girls like that. They're liable to pin it on any guy around." Baby's father is disgusted and snatches the money back. I know what you're thinking. How will this all end? Well, our next guest is going to tell us. John Bass is an actor, a writer, and a director. Who's best known for his work in the Baywatch movie and the TBS series Miracle Workers. His new movie, Bad Shabbos, won the Audience Award at the Tribeca Film Festival. And it's available now on iTunes, which is pretty fucking cool. John Bass, novelize us!
Let's go. Chapter 17, The Last Dance. Novelized by Craig Baldo. I hope I'm saying that right. Johnny approached the lodge door, popped a breath mint, stuffed the front of his pants with a small summer squash, and entered the sweltering room filled with forlorn greasers and narcoleptic Richies. He spotted Baby across the room, sitting with her parents in a... Wait a minute. No! You gotta be kidding me! She was sitting against a wall, leaning on an adjacent stone pillar, making it look as if she was in a... No! Fucking no way! Yes way. It appeared to Johnny as if Baby's parents may have suggested she sit in a chair located in what resembled a corner. Though it wasn't technically a corner of the room. It was just one of many right angles that existed throughout the space. It's doubtful even the architect of that room would have labeled where Baby was sitting as in a corner. It was more a place where the wall met an engaged support column or pilaster. A pilaster. Pilaster. In fact, Baby had scored one of the more choice spots in the lodge, in a pilaster that allowed her to lean back and rest her eyes during the abysmal butchering of voices, hearts, and hands. I mean, in the past, people had fought to sit there, but that night, when doors opened at 7:15, Baby beelined it straight for it and secured her nook for the evening. Her parents hadn't put her there at all.
Johnny was about to misinterpret the whole fucking scenario.
Though metaphorically, he was dead on about Baby being put in a corner. She'd been kept in the corner her whole life, and Johnny was about to dirty dance her the hell out of there permanently. But not without a fight. Johnny approached the table, speaking firmly yet softly to Dr. Houseman as to not arouse Catskill security. Nobody puts Baby in a corner. Translation, I'm about to dry hump your daughter on stage in front of all these people. Baby thought to herself, holy shit, this is not going to end well, as she sat frozen in her chair, now fully awake. Johnny reached out his hand to Baby. She knew her choice in that moment would be a pivotal one. Should she allow Johnny to escort her to the stage, she'd risk losing her dad's respect and, more importantly, her inheritance. But if she kicked Johnny to the curb, refusing to let the jaws of life extract her from the wreckage that was her white-collar world of privilege, she might never feel alive again. She chose to dry hump. As Johnny led Baby to the stage, he whispered sweetly to her, I have no idea what your real name is. Baby replied, Francis, I'm pretty sure I told you that when we met. Still whispering, I must have totally spaced it. Francis, yeah, I guess that sounds right. The two climbed the stage toward the company of just crap singers. I mean, they're still fucking clucking their way through the Kellerman fight song. As Johnny and Baby marched across stage one by one, the aghast singers, they trailed off mid-cluck, dumbfounded by the interruption. I mean, fucking Lisa was the last to shut the hell up. I mean, as Johann Sebastian Bach once said, I weep for the tone deaf, am I right? So I have a couple alts here because I didn't like that last line. So I'll do it two more times. Lisa was the last to shut the hell up. Lisa was the fucking worst. And the other one I had, I really like this one, is Lisa was the last to shut the hell up. Lisa, more like Polisa, stop singing. Thanks. All right, Johnny spoke into the microphone. Sorry about the disruption, folks, but I always do the last dance of the season. And I can tell most of you are ready to drown yourselves in the lake right about now with the scheduled entertainment. A sea of nods in the audience confirmed this. Johnny continued. But this year, somebody told me not to. So I'm going to do my kind of dancing with a great partner who's not only a terrific dancer, but somebody who's taught me that, well, that as shallow as rich people seem with your tight tennis shorts, Ivy League pinky rings, and complete lack of empathy for the working class, every once in a while, one of you will cross the tracks and discover that us townies, us greasers, well, that all we want to do is grind up on each other. It's all we've ever wanted. We're not all petty thieves and pro-abortion. We're trained dancers who carved out a genre of ballroom that involves rubbing our genitals against each other. It's quite innocent, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've all popped woodies at one time or another. Any man or woman with blood pumping through their veins will get worked up doing this stuff, no matter what side of the tracks you're from. Like I have this cousin Danny, a mechanic and hell of a dirty dancer. We met this Australian chick last summer at the beach. She was a total prissy rich girl, but the two of them went together like a Ramalama kind of ding dong. I mean, this is even after she slammed his dick in a car door. Danny couldn't dirty dance for 3 weeks after that. It was crazy, but I digress. That somebody I was talking about taught me there are people willing to stand up for other people no matter what it costs them. Somebody who's taught me about the kind of person I want to be. He looked to Baby, stumped once again on her name. She mouthed Francis to him. Duh, of course. He mouthed back, then turned to the crowd. Miss Frances Houseman! At hearing Johnny utter his daughter's name, Dr. Houseman rose up from his chair ready to end this guy once and for all. But before he could rush the stage, his once passive better half broke her silence, commanding him to sit the fuck down. He obeyed.
He obeyed, remembering the last time she took this tone with him resulted in 16 months of blue balls. It was at that moment Dr. Hausman realized he was no match for any of the women in his life. In truth, his wife had him on a short leash since prom, and now his baby daughter was about to be twirled silly by some two-bit hood in front of half of Westchester's medical community. The ensemble of discordant vocalists dispersed, fearing their lives, leaving baby center stage alone in the spotlight. Then, something very strange happened. Something no one there that night could explain. By some sleight of hand, Johnny produced a 7-inch vinyl record from his leather jacket. A 45 he always carried with him in case of dirty dancing emergencies. And handed it to Billy. And even though there was only one single speaker Kenwood record player, the sound produced from this lo-fi system was incredible. With just a single 3-watt output, the room was somehow filled with Dolby digital surround sound audio. Hearing it, the resort's 98-year-old band leader nearly crapped his pants. And the song itself was from some other time. Almost like it was recorded 25 years in the future. It was like synthesized bells, electronic drums, alien vocal stylings. Nonetheless, it was about to accompany a performance that would go down in Borscht Belt history. Now I had the time of my life. And I never felt this way before. Oh, you guys are too sweet. Johnny seductively approached Baby on stage, beckoning her with a playful forefinger curl, the universal sign for, come here. A prude audience sat captivated. Johnny clasped Baby around her waist and began swaying her from side to side like a sack of grass seed being distributed across a lawn. Eyes locked, they were in perfect sync. They needed to be to win over these judges. Bulgaria was especially critical. Johnny gave Baby a peck on the nose as the music kicked in. They were off. The pair flowed gracefully into their routine. They were absolutely slaying the dance, weaving a tapestry with their feet. Baby's family looked on in astonishment. When did she learn to dance like this? How did we not know? Are we going to make a sequel to this story set in Havana? Then the two snuck in a couple pelvic thrusts to meet their dirty dancing quota, setting off screams from the greasers, oh my God! And hormonal awakenings within the children, indoctrinating them into adulthood months ahead of their bar and bat mitzvahs. But things were about to get way steamier. Johnny gave Baby a gentle kiss on the hand and leapt from the stage like an Alvin Ailey action hero, sticking the landing center style amidst the cheering crowd. He glanced back at Baby as if to say, just stay put, I need to do something. I need to show these people just how filthy I can dance so they know that I'm a man of integrity. Don't worry though, I'll be back for you. Johnny then proceeded to knee spin and gyrate his way up the aisle, eye banging the crowd. His seething rhythmic manhood casting a spell of certainty on every woman there, not to mention outing roughly half a dozen husbands. Baby beamed at him from the stage, a smile to say, you did it! We did it! I love you! How am I supposed to go into the Peace Corps after this? When Johnny reached the back of the lodge, he was met with a brigade of dirty dancing reinforcements. Then, reversing back towards the stage, Johnny led a sultry procession of grinding greasers in lockstep up the aisle to where Baby waited. This was it. It was time to bring the house down. It was time for the fucking angel lift. They had yet to execute this move in front of a live audience, and never was an audience as important as this one. If they didn't nail it, Johnny's career as a summer heartthrob hunk could come crashing down, along with Baby, literally. Baby vaulted off the old wooden planks of the lodge floor and soared into the hands of Johnny, him gripping her waist and raising her elegantly into the air like a porcelain American princess. The audience erupted into joyous applause as Baby floated over the crowd, over the world. It was the pinnacle of her young adult life. No longer daddy's girl, no longer afraid of falling into the shallows of privilege. She was her own woman. And at that moment, Johnny's back began to spasm, so he lured her into his embrace. Baby and Johnny danced the remainder of the song surrounded by friends and family from both sides of the tracks. And there, in the summer's final minutes, Johnny admitted to Baby that he had indeed had the time of his life. I'm not done. Baby gazed into his... I thought that that's where it should end too. Baby gazed into his eyes and reciprocated the feeling with a kiss and a rhythmic pelvic thrust. The end.
Give it up again for John Bass. All right, let's bring out all of our narrators, please. John Bass, Jordan Carlos, Ophira Eisenberg, got Dan. There we go. Dana Dude is here. Great. Yes, if you heard your name called, please come. You guys, I think we can all agree they did an incredible job.
Thank you.
We are going to talk, the five of us, in a moment. But first, you're probably wondering, what happened after all of that? What happened after the lift? After the story ended? What became of the Houseman sisters? Well, you guys, someone sent us a little video to tell us. And that someone is Jane Brucker, the actual human person who played Lisa Houseman. That is real. Check this out.
Hi, it's me, Lisa Houseman. I suppose you want to know about my annoying sister. Well, she did attend Mount Holyoke, where she majored in interpretive dance. She did join the Peace Corps, where with all her political jabbering, she finally got arrested, thrown into jail. Daddy, of course, bailed her out. And as for me, the most interesting of all these folks, I took my triumph from the Kellerman Talent Show and tried to bring Hula Hana the musical to Broadway. Oh, you wanna, you can walk away,
I mean, incredible. That's the actual actor, and that's pretty fucking cool. You guys, first of all, I want to thank you guys for those beautiful novelizations. They were so moving. I didn't think that Dirty Dancing could be improved upon, and you guys proved me wrong. So we're going to end with just a tiny little discussion, and then we're going to play a game. The first thing I want to ask you guys, though, is I rewatched the movie for maybe the 1,000th time this week. And as I was watching it, I was really struck by how low budget it is. And there's no, other than Patrick Swayze, there's really nobody in it who at the time was famous. This movie was a fucking smash hit. It was made for like $6 million, and I think it grossed like $260 million at the box office or something. Why do you guys think this movie was such a hit when it was such a tiny little story with nobody famous in it?
The lift at the end. It's Kim Possible to pull off. Have you ever tried to lift anybody by their hips?
No.
Patrick Swayze has, titanium arms, and like finding the center of gravity. I mean, Jennifer Grey must have been like what, 12 pounds, like a little kettlebell or something like that, and he just like snatches her up. And have I tried it? Yes, in my mind, and it just goes crash boom, and I'm like,
well, every guy has tried it,
yes,
but usually in a pool, and you know, usually when you're under the water, so that you can actually do it. But yeah, it's that. It's obviously the insane sex appeal of Patrick Swayze. Just an hour and a half of getting to watch this incredibly gorgeous man just move and sway his body.
His arms are insane, and also the shoulder to waist ratio.
Yeah.
Fucking
Shoulder to
wild.
waist.
He was
yeah.
a ballet
S to dub.
dancer, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the real deal. It wasn't just like pretend dance.
It wasn't.
was
That is not pretend dance.
That is not pretend dance.
No, that's not like the cutting edge where you see a long range. Thank you.
Cutting it.
There's like 3
DB
people in this
Sweeney?
room that
Yes,
know.
thank
yeah.
you. Give him respect on his name, please.
Another-
Yeah, no, you see these wide shots of real skaters, and then you see close-ups of feet, but you never see the actors because they can't ice skate, which is fine. Neither can I. God bless. But like, right, this is as Ophira said,
Yeah.
the real deal. This is the real deal.
And wasn't this like kind of in the beginning of a whole genre of like people wanting dance? Like we love dance movies where there was just people like doing like kind of
Breaking 2, right?
Electric
There was-
Boogaloo, yeah.
Electric Boogaloo, yeah, that was a big one.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah,
That's
with,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, with
I think these
Footloose.
are all
Yeah.
excellent theories. Let me ask you another question.
I also think it introduced
please.
grinding, by the way.
Oh, do you think this is the origin of grinding?
I think it is. I think this is the primordial ooze from which grinding came.
Okay, this is grind zero, if you will.
It's grind zero. And anyone here, please raise your hands in this room if you have grinded or been grinded upon.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Against my will.
So here's another question though. Why? I feel like there were a lot of movies around this time that were really big. They were big. They had a moment. We don't really still talk about them in 2025. Why do you think this is a movie we are still talking about? Because when I tell you and it's not even like we rediscovered it. Like I was in college for the 10-year anniversary. They showed it at the local movie theater. We all went. It was sold out. When the Kellerman song came on, we did sing it. Like this movie has never had. There's never been a this. It's been this the whole time. Do you have any thoughts about why? Maybe.
It's just a great story. It's just a great story.
It's Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is always in style.
Ooh, what a lovely phrase.
Yeah?
Romeo and Juliet is always in style. That's our takeaway from tonight, you guys.
Yeah.
I will admit that I'm a little I don't know because I've never seen the movie. That is the truth, everybody. I have never seen this movie. Yeah, bring it on, bring it on.
Another movie Ophira has never seen. Bring it on.
That is true. Yeah, I never saw Bring It On
Oh my
either.
God, so great.
And I don't know if it's because I grew up in Western Canada or if I just missed it or what happened. But once I missed it, and then everyone's like, you gotta see it. And that is the ultimate moment where I go, I'm never gonna see it because that's who I am. But then, so I learned a lot tonight, but also, I know so much of it because it is ubiquitous in culture. And so I feel like I should watch it, but I feel like I've seen so
You gotta
many
do
of
you.
the
You have to
scenes.
want it. You can't. I'm not gonna try to force it on you. I need you to.
No one
you
will
have to
watch
want
it with me. I've thrown it out there a few times.
Ophira, I will watch it with you tonight after this is over.
We will all lock the doors.
I have, Ophira's vulnerability is making me feel like I can open up. I also have not seen Dirty Dancing. I've not seen Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
First of all, I wasn't even supposed to be here tonight. Someone got COVID and I'm here. So,
Where did you grow up, Dan?
doing
Where did-
COVID? Or me?
Wait, Dan, where did you grow up?
Okay, I grew up in Long Island, which is firmly.
That seems like that would be ripe for some dirty
But
dancing.
it was an immigrant family. My parents didn't let us watch fucking.
with these excuses.
No, we couldn't
I'm
watch.
from Manitoba. I can't possibly make it to see Dirty Dancing. It's so exotic.
Wait a second.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. No, Alberta, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Did you,
Wow.
I'm
did you
sorry.
say Manitoba?
I said Manitoba, but I said it really
I
hard.
don't- that's not a
I said it
province.
really hard. And then you're like,
We were not allowed to watch Married
I'm
with
from
Children.
Long Island.
We were not allowed.
Same,
we
same.
were not
I
allowed
will
to watch
say
Married
same.
with Children because my mom was like, "These are bad family values." You think she wants us to watch this smut?
Right.
All right, fair. It has dirty in the title, and that's
Yes.
fair. All right, you guys.
This is crazy.
I have something I need to admit too.
Have you also not seen it?
No, of course I've seen it. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've seen it
No,
as
I'm
well.
not.
Well, you guys, two of you are not going to love what's going to happen next.
What?
We are going to, because I was like, well, why would we talk about it for the whole last part of the show? Everybody knows everything about it. Mm-hmm. We should just get right down to it and find
Let's
out who
go.
knows the most about it by doing a trivia quiz.
Great.
Are they-
Let's do it.
Should we be the
sorry.
hosts of the trivia show?
I'm only not going to turn that over because I would win. So only to try to keep it fair. We are going to do Dirty Dancing trivia.
Your mama don't mind.
Yeah, okay, that's what we're gonna do. Thank you for the 3 claps. How this is going to work is I'm gonna ask some questions. You guys are gonna answer. I'm gonna keep score because I'm, say it with me, an oldest child. The winner of this quiz will get a real prize.
I'm real fucking bored.
Yes, I took a dry erase board on the F train because that's how much I care about this movie. Thank you. Guys, we're going to do a quiz. The winner will get a real prize, a real live actual prize, not some bullshit prize like friendship. Are we ready? Hold on to your butts. All right. Just call out the answer, right? This is lawless. Question number 1. Jennifer Grey only took the role of Baby because she was runner-up for the lead in another movie. What was that movie?
Karate Kid.
Incorrect, but I love the energy.
In another movie. St. Elmo's.
No, but thank you.
Breakfast Club?
You guys are in the right neighborhood.
It's 16 Candles. No.
No, nobody knows it?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh!
She was in that.
She was in there.
She almost got the part
That's fair.
of Matthew Broderick's
All right.
sister.
I didn't see that movie.
Did you not see the movie?
Yeah, I didn't see
You're not
that.
going to believe this. The answer is Flashdance.
Flashdance.
Right? You guys, we are breaking news here.
They knew.
What's your name? Lisa knew.
Give Lisa
knew.
the point.
All right, 1 point for
Lisa gets
One
the point.
point.
I'm
Lisa.
also, and this is real, making a box for Lisa. If Lisa gets the most points, she gets a prize.
This is a drink ticket. There
This
you
is-
go. There's a drink ticket.
This
You
is
guys, this is real. Jennifer Grey
This is
and
highly
Jennifer
unorthodox.
Beals, they were only allowed to give girls one name in the 80s. I also have it. Jennifer Beals and Jennifer Grey, was down to the 2 of them for Flashdance, screen tested and everything. Jennifer Beals got the part. Jennifer Grey was fucking crushed. Then she got offered Dirty Dancing. She's like, I guess I'll do this piece of horseshit movie. Who's laughing now?
Wow.
Because we're not saying shit about Flashdance.
Wow.
What
All
a
right,
feeling.
1 point for Lisa, and that's real. All right, the title Dirty Dancing was almost changed to what? I just want to hear your best guess. Best guess will get a point.
Sweet
Don't
Dancing.
raise your hand. Just
Bad abortion.
Bad abortion. Okay.
Baby's Day Out.
Baby stay out.
Filthy waltzing.
Filthy waltzing.
who that doing that dirty dancing?
Wait. I have the time of my life. Time of my life.
Oh, that's a really good solid guess. What was your other guess?
Baby's Day Out.
Baby stay out. All right. None of these are right, but they are all great. I'm going to give John a point for Baby's Day Out because the baby does come out of someone's body in this movie. But the title actually.
Wait.
Oh,
Do you know?
everybody's mad? That's medically correct.
Do you know?
Penny in trouble.
Penny in trouble. Whoa. No, that's close. No, yeah. Penny for your virginity? No, the answer.
I have another one. Is it
Yeah,
too late?
Never too late.
Jews might be financially stable, but they're not fun to fuck.
So close. The actual answer is I was a teenage mambo queen. And the
Such
reason,
a better title.
You're not going to believe this. Ophira is tangentially responsible because she's Canadian. The reason they almost changed it was because for some reason, I don't understand this part, they were sending the dailies every day to Canada. And they kept getting stopped at the border because the border police, rightfully so, were like, is this a bunch of porn? Are you bringing porn in?
Right.
And they were like, they had a meeting. They were like, should we change the name to I Was a Teenage Mambo Queen? But they decided not to. All right, John gets a point for Baby's Day Out. Dirty Dancing was the first film to do what? And remember, it was 1987.
Crossed $250 million.
So close. So close.
Oh.
You're in the right neighborhood.
Oh, it's just the answer is to make money. Is that where we're at? All right.
First.
I don't know. Play on the most screens in the country.
You guys are in the right neighborhood.
It won an Academy Award for its title song, right? Like
It's a first movie to win an Academy Award.
the first dirty movie.
Dan, do you have a guess?
To be an international blockbuster?
These are all great guesses. Lisa? Okay. All right. It was to sell 1 million copies on VHS. So many VHS tapes.
These are so hard.
In my mind, you guys, I left out the hard ones. I thought this was easy. All right, here we go. How many? Okay, obviously the pinnacle.
Also, can I just say,
Yeah, please.
inspired a font.
I feel like
Yeah.
that font
Yeah.
is
You can write
everywhere.
anything in that
Yeah.
font and
Yeah,
you would
you
know what it was.
That is
Yeah.
such an 80s font.
Yeah, if the IRS
Yeah.
sent me a notice in that font,
I
I'd be
love
like,
that. That is that.
Point for Ophira. Point for Ophira.
Point for
Ophira.
Ophira gets a point
Points,
for the
points.
font. How many times? Okay, here's another question. The pinnacle movie moment of the movie is the lift, obviously. How many
Yes.
times did Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey practice the lift before they finally filmed it?
Once. One time.
One time.
This was
Once.
They shot it.
100 times.
It
Lisa?
was once. No,
Twice?
they didn't practice it at all, and it was 0 times. Thank you, friend. And it was 0 times,
Because
and then they
what?
just did it because of life, and there was no fucking time to practice. it.
Jordan is correct.
And Joel Grey.
No!
He's correct.
What's your
No.
name? Who said 0?
Michael, who is actually my avatar. Michael's my avatar.
All right, Michael has 1 point.
He put.
Michael has 1 point. Jennifer Grey was
Yeah.
too scared.
Yeah.
She was scared of Patrick Swayze in general.
Right.
They did not get along in the previous movie they starred in.
Really?
He had to convince her.
Red Dawn?
Yes,
Yeah.
he had to convince
Yeah,
her
that was
privately
a
in a
tough one.
one-on-one meeting to even
Yeah.
take the job. She was scared of him. They never practiced the lift, and they waited till that day.
Wow.
Speaking of that scene,
Done.
speaking of that scene, what famous 80s actor is just chilling in the audience of the final scene where
Matthew
they,
Broderick.
Fuck yes, it is.
They were dating.
Uncredited, just hanging out in the audience.
Isn't that also where they got into the car accident? No, that was in
That was in
Italy.
Ireland.
That was in Ireland.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
Way to bring the room
I
down.
know. Amazing
we don't need to
job.
get into that.
Point away from this guy.
Amazing job. All right, we're almost done. You guys don't worry. There are no close-ups of Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey in the scene where they practice the lift in the lake. Why?
SAG-AFTRA, he wasn't allowed to be in the water because they'd need extra insurance.
Okay, that's a great guess.
Well,
Wait, can you repeat the
Wait,
question? I'm sorry.
Thank you. You know, there's a scene where they practice the lift in a lake.
Of course,
There
of course.
are no close-ups of Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey in that scene. Why?
because she's afraid of him, and she's not going to go in a goddamn
They
lake
didn't
with
know.
the dude.
They didn't know. She didn't know that they were actually filming.
Body double.
Body double. Michael says about Lisa.
Oh, she doesn't want to get wet.
She says, but they never did what? The lift? That's why?
'Cause her
Okay,
hair-
I'm
her-
sorry. The answer is their lips were blue. The water was too cold. They were like straight up near hypothermia
Oh
and
my
shivering,
God.
so they couldn't do any close-ups.
Talk about
That's
the method.
gross.
Wow.
What part of the movie did Patrick Swayze hate and try to cut? Try to
and
get
try to-
cut.
Well, this will be easy for me, never seeing it. Hang on.
Everybody's capable of guessing.
Nobody. The line.
I
Nobody
know.
puts baby in a corner.
That's correct.
Probably.
That is correct. John is way ahead.
Who is this man?
A real
killing
dark
you.
horse.
You're getting it.
Do you know why? Do you know just use a guess?
I just think he probably fucking hated saying it.
Yeah, he thought it was a stupid
Thought
line.
it was dumb.
And he wanted to get it cut.
I've acted in stuff. I know that feeling. I'm not saying this piece of shit line. It's no good.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the most iconic line in the movie.
Sure, that's right. What famous teen product was planning to sponsor the film until they heard about the abortion plotline?
Electric Youth?
Oh God, I love that guess. No, but I love that guess.
Oxy-10.
Okay.
No. Oh, Noxzema.
I'm going to say CoverGirl, like a CoverGirl product, or the Maybelline lipstick Cherries in the Snow.
Interesting.
Playtex.
Playtex. These are all great guesses. Clear. You said what did you say? You said.
Oxy-10.
Okay, it was Clearasil, so I'm gonna give you a point because that is so fucking close.
I didn't even watch the goddamn movie.
Yeah, you just gotta know what do teens like. What do teens like? And they like controlling their pimples.
Does anyone remember Seabreeze?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
I'm still
anyone-
stuck on Electric Youth. I can smell that shit.
Seabreeze is something I can still smell.
Now-
I think we would drink it.
Yeah, I would do a shot of Seabreeze right now if anybody had it. You guys, this is the final question. This is the tension has
Oh
been
boy.
thick
Okay.
here.
Okay.
What's the score going into the final?
Thank you for
John
asking.
is
To
winning.
create narrative tension, Jordan has 0 points.
I think you gave me a.
Oh, you're right. You did. I think I accidentally put it in the wrong J column. You're
Wow,
right.
what a tough.
I know.
game.
No, Michael has that point. Did Michael tell? Michael
Yeah,
told me,
Michael
right?
has that point.
Yeah, no,
But
Jordan,
no.
you don't have a point.
But
Michael?
what had happened was
No, Michael, this is not up to you. You get your point. No, we can't transfer points.
Yeah, we're not. Okay. Ophira has one.
Since when?
It doesn't matter because only one of you has more than 1 point. Even Lisa, who really got my hopes up in the beginning,
I know.
let me down.
Lisa came in hot.
Lisa came in fucking high.
Lisa's like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Ophira has one. Dan has one. Lisa has one. Michael has one. John has two.
She hasn't even seen the fucking movie.
We haven't seen the movie, and we have more points than you. Amazing. This hurts my heart.
Our final question is an all play.
This could be Jordan's big moment.
The Dirty Dancing soundtrack is one of the best-selling albums of all time, and that's real. It spent 18 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard chart. It sold 32 million copies. Also, everyone at my elementary school had the tape. And that's what makes something a hit. When I say go, just shout out as many of the songs from that soundtrack as you can.
Hungry
think.
Eyes.
When I say go, you are lawless.
You said go.
Oh my God. Ready? Go.
Hungry Eyes. Baby, boom, boom.
Longer? Wait,
Louie, Louie.
Yes.
I'm done.
Mama,
What did you say?
the Kellerman fight song. Do you love me? Don't you love me? Forget about
Yes,
me.
that's real.
Mama, don't talk. Mama, don't speak.
90
We got you like the way
angels are everywhere.
She's like the wind.
You already got that one, but good.
Happy Hanukkah.
All right, excellent job. You guys did a great job. Bonus point. Final question. Who sings She's Like the Wind?
Patrick Swayze.
There we go!
Because I watched the fucking movie.
Finally.
You pieces of crap.
Wow. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Jordan.
We know how to
Jordan.
bring them out.
Wow. Does anyone have my inhaler?
Did you
All right.
call the
We
entire
have a tie
audience and
between
us
Jordan
piece
and
of shit
John.
crap?
No.
John and Jordan, you guys are tied. You each have 3.
Oh my God.
Lisa has a disappointing 2. I've never felt so let down by somebody in my life.
He can split the baby like King Solomon.
Tie-breaking question.
Okay.
One character in this movie, actually one actor wasn't supposed to be in it. They filmed the first 2 weeks, and then that actor got sick, and they were like, bye-bye, and replaced this person. There's still one shot of the old actor in the movie just hidden in the movie. Who is that person? Who is the main? There's one of the characters is just replaced. They're an actor who wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
I know,
Is it-
but
is
it's
it like-
only because you sort of talked about it
Okay.
earlier.
Did I?
So I feel bad.
Oh, okay, all right.
But it's the mother, right?
Yeah, it's the mother. All right.
But it's a cheating win. I don't want to. I give my point to Jordan. I give my point to Jordan.
I bet to Michael.
All right. You guys.
For Lisa.
You guys can decide between you who gets the prize. The prize is a Dirty Dancing coloring book.
Shut the fuck.
It's mine. It's mine.
Yeah.
John,
This
it's
book
all yours.
cost $11, but we can all agree it is worth $1 million.
It's worth $1 million.
Congratulations. And congratulations to Lisa, because she had some really solid knowledge. You guys, that is our show. Thank you to our amazing narrators, David Dude, Jordan Carlos, Sophia Eisenberg, and John Bass.
I had the time
And
of
thank you
my
to our
life.
incredible rapper, Kevin Carter. Thanks to our writers, Abby Crutchfield, Liz Lant, Raquel Appice, Craig Baldo, Rob Cutner, and Cheryl Zoe. You can listen to the entire novelization of Dirty Dancing by subscribing to the Novelizers wherever you get your podcasts. I'm guessing it's your phone. Thanks to the Novelizers producers Marla Ratner, Stephen Levinson, and Dennis DeClaudio. Give it up for Caveat, this beautiful space. And thank you guys for being here. This is a really cool reference. We hope you had the time of your life.
Thank you guys.
Wait, did you notice?
I haven't seen it. No. It has to be a license. Like, it's house creepy AI.
Congratulations.
You made fun of me on
No, I didn't.
No, in a fun way.
No, I was like, dude, that's really awesome because that's what you're. It looks like it's the culmination.
You think it looks lame? Do you think my kid looks lame?
Oh, like a young Rita Wilson.
Is that a young Rita Wilson? Is that what I'm saying?
This looks like, I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. This looks like a
Thank you to your
Great trip. So fun. Oh, you guys were such good sports. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I didn't know you guys.
I was trying to chat you.
I figured I would like try to get it.
So oh my God, yes, I was. I will for sure. Lisa,
Brooklyn would have been destroyed. We did it for Brooklyn.